Yo, Stacy, you done with work yet?
Hey, Nate. Yeah, I just got out a second ago. Boy, it's like you have a sixth sense or something. It seems like you always manage to text me within a few minutes of getting off work every day. What's the matter? You missed me that much since I've been out of town?
Guilty as charged. My wife's off in some other city for work, and I'm stuck here at home all by my lonesome. Loneliness is killing me. I'm losing my mind over here. The only thing that can soothe my broken heart is to make sure I know exactly where you are at all hours of the day.
Okay, that's enough sarcasm for one day, Nate.
Hey, come on, I'm just joking around. You know me.
Yeah, I do know you, which is why I know that unless I cut you off, you'll keep up the sarcasm for the rest of the night. Anyway, I wanted to ask you, did you get a call from my mom today?
Oh yeah, she called earlier this afternoon. She made a point to ask me if I was getting enough vegetables while you were gone. Which was weird, but it was kind of unexpected to get a call from her in the first place. She doesn't call me very often. Did you put her up to that, or...?
Well, kinda. I mean, you never really do much cooking, right? I was worried about you. I wanted to make sure that you were staying healthy while I'm away. So I asked her to check in on you from time to time. You're not just eating a bunch of fast food and frozen dinners, right?
Geez, Stacy, are you my wife or my mom? Yeah, don't worry, I'm eating all my green vegetables, and just for the record, I can cook, you know. Sure, I'm no five-star chef or anything, but I can throw some veggies in a frying pan with some meat and make something half-decent happen.
Oh, really? Huh. I had no idea. How come you've never shown off those culinary talents for me?
I thought that would be obvious. You're just a way better cook than me. Why waste time and ingredients on my third-rate cooking when I can have a pro like you make my meals for me?
Yeah, I guess if you put it like that, it kind of makes sense. But I'm still curious what kind of food you can make, Nate. Why don't you cook dinner for me one of these days?
All right, after you get back from your business trip, I'll whip up something for you. Just don't expect much, okay? Oh, and one other thing, your mom is pretty insistent on coming over here and fixing dinner for me sometime soon. Is that something you put her up to?
No, that was her idea. She told me that if you were really having a hard time on your own, she'd be more than glad to take something over to the house for you. Why do you ask?
Yeah, about that. Could you ask her to please not do that? I mean, I don't want her to have to come out all this way just for me. It's a long drive and all.
I don't know. She seems like she really wants to do it to help you out, Nate.
And I appreciate that, but still, it's fine, really. I'm doing perfectly well on my own. Seriously, both of you guys are way too concerned about me. Your motherly instincts are working overtime. I mean it. Tell her she doesn't need to bother coming out here. I really am doing all right by myself.
Really? Well, all right, if that's what you say. I'll let Mom know she doesn't need to make anything for you.
Thanks, babe. I really appreciate it. Oh, look at the time. You got work bright and early again tomorrow morning, don't you? I think you should probably go to bed pretty soon.
Yeah, I was thinking about taking a shower in a little bit. Oh, and don't forget to turn off the electric space heater when you go to bed, okay? I know you like to leave that thing on when you take a nap, but it's really, really dangerous. You can use a blanket or something if you're really that cold.
I know. Jeez, Stacy. You're acting like I'm some kind of elementary school kid or something.
I'm just saying, it wouldn't be the first time that you've left it on overnight. I remember a few weeks ago I came home and the space heater was still on from the previous night. Just be careful, okay? You don't want to burn the house down, do you?
I got it, Stacy. You can trust me. I'll be careful. Now hurry up and get off to bed.
Nate, where are you? Why aren't you answering your phone? I've been trying to call you forever. We're in the middle of a crisis here. Nate!
Whoa, why are you blowing up my phone like this? I was trying to sleep, you know. Is that a crime? Whatever you want can wait until later, but since you've already woken me up, fine, I'll bite. What's got you so freaked out anyway?
Are you being serious?
Yeah? Not sure why you think I'd be joking around about sleeping. I mean, it's my day off. I was at home with nothing to do. I was tired. I thought I'd take a nap. Pretty simple story, really.
What? You mean you were sleeping while the house was burning down? There's absolutely nothing left but ashes.
Huh? The house burned down? Is this some kind of a prank? Are you that angry that I didn't answer your call right away?
Wow, I guess you really didn't know. Well, since you're replying to me right now, that means at the very least you weren't caught in the fire too.
Of course I'm fine. Why wouldn't I? Wait, you're serious, aren't you? About the house burning down?
It even made the local news. My mom called me about it a little bit ago. She was freaking out and wondering if you were okay. Well, that made me nervous too, obviously, so I got on the first plane back home. Fortunately, it looks like ours was the only house that burned down, and none of the neighbors' houses had any damage. I guess the only problem they'll have to deal with is a smoky smell in the rooms closest to our house.
Holy, you weren't kidding. It is all over the news. I can't believe it. Our house was burned to the ground. There's nothing left. But what are you doing texting me at a time like this?
Excuse me? I was trying to make sure you weren't dead, Nate.
Yeah, well, now you know that I'm okay, so what's our next move? Our furniture, TV, appliances, they're all gone. And we're gonna have to talk to the landlord about this too. Did you call him? What are we supposed to do next? This has never happened to me before.
Calm down, Nate. My mom and I have taken care of all the most pressing issues. I talked to the fire department. They said that the fire is officially put out and all the fire trucks are clearing out. I called the insurance company too, and that's about all we can do for now.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. Thanks for that, babe.
You're welcome. Now, if you don't mind, let's rewind the conversation a bit. Where are you right now?
Huh?
Don't me. You told me that you were at home with nothing to do, so you took a nap. That was a lie, wasn't it? So, Nate, tell me, where are you right now and what are you doing?
I meant to say I fell asleep at my desk. Sorry, I'm so tired and just woke up. I must have forgotten where I was.
You said it was your day off today, Nate. Are you really going to tell me that you forgot you were at your office? Why are you lying to me?
Wow, that's not what's important right now. Our house burned down, Stacy. What are we gonna do?
All right, so that's the way you're gonna be. Fine, we can set that aside for the moment. Now on to the next question.
Oh, come on, more questions. Don't you think this is an inappropriate time to be grilling me like this?
This next question is actually directly related to the fire, so I'd say it's a perfectly appropriate thing to ask. I was talking to one of the firefighters a little bit ago. He told me they were able to identify the source of the fire. Well, Nate, would you like to guess where the fires started?
I don't know. Oh, I think I know where it started. I might have forgotten to turn off the space heater before I left the house. Am I gonna get arrested? Like, I have no idea how the laws around that sort of thing work. Is that arson?
For crying out loud, Nate, I told you how many times to be careful with that space heater.
Well, I don't know. I figured I'd be coming right back so it wouldn't be a big deal.
Well, guess what, Nate? It was a big deal. A really big deal. Okay, well, that explains a lot. Now get over here immediately. We have a lot of things to talk about.
About what?
Oh, you know, this and that. About the fire, about our stuff, about insurance, about where you were sleeping just now. You've got some explaining to do, Nate. So don't even think about trying to run and hide.
Man, am I relieved to hear I won't get charged. I thought for sure I was gonna go to jail over that. But seriously, I still can't believe that a stupid, tiny little space heater could cause such a massive fire.
Yeah, lucky you. It turns out that leaving a space heater on when you leave the house may be an incredibly stupid thing to do, but it doesn't fall under criminal negligence. I'll have to call our state congressman and have him submit a bill to fix that oversight. He can call it the Punish Idiots for Being Careless with Fire Act.
Come on, you don't need to take that tone with me. Just because we're getting divorced doesn't give you the right to insult me.
Well, you are an idiot, and you were careless. If anything, I'd say calling you a careless idiot is far too kind. I could also throw in the fact that you're a cheating bastard. Would you like that?
Hey, I already apologized to you for that a bunch of times. I agreed to give you a clean and easy divorce, right? I even agreed on a big fat alimony check for you, so would you just get over it already?
You're acting awfully lackadaisical about this. I mean, you were cheating on me, but are you really sure you'll be all right if we get divorced?
Well, once I get rid of you, I can just get remarried to my girlfriend. So yeah, considering the circumstances, I'd say I don't have too much to be worried about. Oh, but if you were having second thoughts about getting divorced, I'd definitely be willing to have that conversation with you.
Really, Nate? Do you really see any other resolution to this situation other than us getting divorced?
No.
You genuinely don't feel even an ounce of remorse, do you? You do realize that it's an absolute miracle that ours was the only house that was damaged, don't you? If the wind had been blowing in a slightly different direction that night, it could have ended much worse for me and you.
Trust me, I know. I can't imagine how much money I'd have to pay if someone had gotten hurt in that fire. That's on top of the fact that I gotta buy all new furniture and everything. I would have never financially recovered from it.
I wasn't talking about money, Nate, but whatever. Anyway, I'm taking the divorce papers to the courthouse, okay? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
That's a pretty ironic phrase to use here. Yeah, go ahead and do it. I'm gonna be staying at my girlfriend's house for a while. What are you gonna do?
I already brought my stuff over to my parents' house. I'll just stay here. Try not to burn down your girlfriend's house, too. Not that I care.
Don't worry, I won't make that mistake ever again.
Uh-huh. Oh, and by the way, the landlord wanted to talk to you. I'm pretty sure he'll be calling you sometime in the near future, so make sure you answer his call.
Huh? What's he want? I thought we already dealt with all that stuff.
He didn't tell me what it was about, so you'll just have to wait until he calls you to find out. Maybe he just wants to ask you some questions about the night the house burned down. It was your fault, after all.
Duh, that's gonna be a super awkward conversation. Wait, you don't think he's gonna ask me to pay for repairs to the house, do you? I really would not like to have that conversation right now.
It's not like you can avoid it. It's time for you to man up and take responsibility for your actions, Nate.
All right, I'll talk to him, don't worry.
Good. Now, not to be annoying, but I want to make perfectly sure. Once I bring these papers to the courthouse, you and I are through, legally. You get that, right?
Stacy, I know how divorce works. Yeah, I get it. We done here? If you don't mind, I got some unfinished business to attend to with my girlfriend. Stacy! What's going on here? You never told me about any of this.
I thought I made myself clear yesterday. We are through, Nate. Why are you texting me?
You know exactly why I'm texting you. Why do I have to pay for the full amount of the repairs to the house? I thought I wasn't being charged with anything.
It looks like you're under a fundamental misunderstanding about how liability works. Didn't you go to high school?
Stop insulting me and start explaining. You said that I couldn't be held liable for an accidental fire, and the cops did too. They said it was a civil matter, right? So what's the deal? Why do I have to pay for everything?
Okay, either you weren't paying attention or you're just really, really dumb. I told you that your actions didn't meet the criteria for criminal negligence. That doesn't mean you're off the hook for paying to fix what you did.
What? That doesn't make any sense.
Criminal liability and civil liability are two completely different things. Leaving an electrical space heater on when you leave the house is an incredibly stupid thing to do, but you can't get charged for anything unless someone gets hurt, generally. Now that's unrelated to the issue of civil liability. We were renting our house. That means it's not our property. It belongs to the landlord. He is well within his rights to collect repair costs from you. I never told you that you wouldn't have to pay anything at all, did I? I just said you wouldn't go to jail over it.
Well, yeah, but hey, what about you? You're on the hook for at least part of this, aren't you?
Why would I be?
Because we both lived in that house. Why should I have to pay the whole amount by myself?
Legally, the only person with any responsibility to pay damages is the person whose name is on the lease, namely you. So no, I don't have any responsibility to pay a single cent.
No way!
Plus, we're divorced now. Any legal bonds that once existed between us have now been dissolved. You'll have to figure out a way to pay for it all yourself, even if that means taking out a loan. Well, Nate, now do you understand what sort of situation you're in?
You knew this would happen, didn't you? That's why you were being so amicable while we were settling the divorce.
And what if I was? I don't see how that changes anything. Both your affair and the fire were 100% your fault. You can't blame me for not wanting to be anywhere near you when it hit the fan.
I can't believe you. You tricked me.
Nonsense. I didn't trick you at all. You just didn't do all your homework. I'd appreciate it if you could stop blaming me for your shortcomings.
But I can't handle all of this. I've still got alimony payments to make to you, and now I have to pay for the repair costs on top of that?
Yep. I guess if you don't have enough savings to cover it, you'll just have to take out a loan.
How am I supposed to get by when my entire paycheck is going to you and the landlord?
I guess you should have thought harder about the consequences, both of your affair and your carelessness with fire hazards.
This is the worst. What am I going to tell my girlfriend? If she finds out about this, she's going to leave me for sure.
Oh, I don't think you have to worry about that. I'm sure she'll remain loyal to you even if you're broke and penniless. I mean, if you can't count on the loyalty of a woman who knowingly slept with a married man, what can you count on? After that, Nate was stuck with both sizable monthly alimony payments to me and monthly payments to the landlord to pay for the damages he caused to the house. Like I said before, the house was a complete loss, so Nate not only has to pay for the construction of a brand new house, but he also has to pay for the cleanup of the fire. He should count his lucky stars that there was no serious damage to any of the houses nearby. He has enough repairs to pay for as it is. Obviously, after the divorce, Nate's finances were completely drained, leaving him with no option but to take out a massive loan to cover it all. As I expected, once his home-wrecking harlot girlfriend found out about Nate's debts, she kicked him to the curb in short order. I haven't heard from him since then, so I have no idea where he's living, what he's doing, or how he's managing to make ends meet. All I know is that with the amount of money he's on the hook for, he is not going to have a very easy time of things. Legally, none of what Nate did could be classified as a crime, either his affair or the fire he started. However, just because he can't be punished in criminal court doesn't mean that the people he wronged have to sit back and take it. And speaking of Nate's victims, our former landlord and I are still on perfectly good terms. After the fire, I was terrified that he would resent me for it, but actually he was super sympathetic toward me. One time I ran into him in the supermarket and he told me that I should consider myself lucky that Nate burned down the house. If not for that, I may never have found out about Nate's affair. So I may have lost a lot in the fire, but I also like to think I've learned one very, very valuable lesson. Never, ever trust a man who's so cold that he needs to sleep with a space heater.